I just read the funniest article about Disney Plus that I think I've ever seen in my life. If this doesn't completely sum up where we are as a country in 2021, nothing does. Disney Plus is enormously successful. Everybody wanted to get it. Remember when Hamilton started streaming on Disney Plus and people ordered Disney Plus for that? Get all the Disney movies, all the classics, Peter Pan, Swiss Family Robinson, all the things. And I'm a Disney guy. My family and I, we're Disney people. Well, we can't watch necessarily Swiss Family Robinson, Peter Pan, Dumbo, the Aristocats. If we have children under 7, it's banned. Like somebody over the New York Post called it, it's more like Disney minus. Listen to this. Disney Plus has decided to go whole hog and drop a number of once beloved, now controversial movies from their children's menu. Children under 7 are going to be forbidden from watching Dumbo, Peter Pan, Swiss Family Robinson, and the Aristocats. Settings on the app will prevent the movies from even showing up on the profiles of children under 7. Children under 7 can't handle Dumbo. Now, let me go through the offensive material. Dumbo was made in 1941. You remember Dumbo about the flying elephant? Well, apparently they have singing crows in the movie. It's a cartoon, incidentally. The cartoon has singing crows. According to Disney, in explaining their rationale, the singing crows pay homage to racist minstrel shows where white performers with black face imitated and ridiculed enslaved Africans on southern plantations. Okay? Peter Pan, what did they do wrong? Well, Peter Pan and Swiss Family Robinson both have negative portrayals of Native Americans and foreigners. Okay? Good to know. What about the Aristocats? Now, I know about the Aristocats because my son Trevor loved the Aristocats as a kid. In fact, one of the Christmas presents I got him over the years was a vintage Aristocats framed movie poster. Trevor loved the Aristocats. Well, it's about cats. I mean, literally, it's felines. Well, the Siamese cat in the Aristocats has, quote, exaggerated stereotypical traits such as slanted eyes and buck teeth. The cat sings in poorly accented English, voiced by a white actor, and plays the piano with chopsticks. Out. Gone. Now, the taboo movies will still be available if there's an adult who can override the ban. However, even if you override it, there will be a disclaimer. The disclaimer says these stereotypes were wrong then and are wrong now. Rather than remove this content, we want to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and spark conversation to create a more inclusive future together. Of course, as the New York Post points out, this Disney Plus decision follows a nationwide cancellation campaign that recently heated up with Dr. Seuss in trouble. The Dr. Seuss books have been banned by eBay, much to the chagrin of other online pundits who pointed out that this is like book burning in Nazi Germany. The Space Jam sequel, incidentally, is on shaky ground. You know why? Well, Speedy Gonzalez and Pepe Le Pew, they've been accused of fostering rape culture. Pepe Le Pew, a skunk, and Speedy Gonzalez are fostering rape culture. Now, I've got a suggestion that I give with love. If you're offended by Pepe Le Pew, you should get to a counselor right now. You should get somebody to help you through the crisis, the mental health crisis that you're experiencing. Can you imagine somebody sitting around saying that Speedy Gonzalez is offensive? But I get it. The left gets to decide what's offensive. And when they do, nobody better challenge that. I was reading a great piece by Brandon Morse over at Red State that we're all getting sick and tired of hearing what is or isn't problematic or offensive. To say what is and isn't offensive to society, the left would have to speak for everyone, but America doesn't work that way, he writes. We're a society of individuals who may disagree or agree for various reasons. The left, however, believes that it has the go-ahead to make decisions and declare stances on behalf of minority communities, whether it's racial or sexual. It's offensive to the black community is thrown around so much by the left that people just take that for granted. And there are millions of people who see problematic or offensive things. He writes, if I was a minority figure and people began speaking on my behalf without consulting me, I'd be furious. And to be sure, American minorities should be furious. The left puts them in a box, slapping tape over their mouths and declaring without a second thought that every person from X culture or X amount of melanin in their skin all believe the exact same thing about any given subject. That in and of itself is absolutely racist. It robs the individuality of the person from them. It makes it clear that there's no agency for them. They're a part of the body politic, and any attempt at arguing differently will have consequences. It feels like something should come back so that anytime the left decides to start speaking on people's behalf without their permission, they would be greeted by a hashtag en masse, and all who witnessed would understand that the leftist was actually bereft of support for their position. It's out of control. It's insane. We are living in an insanity period. And we got to get it back. We got to figure out how to return this country to a little bit of sense of. Can you imagine banning Pepe Le Pew? Can you imagine being offended by Peter Pan or Dumbo the flying elephant?